Shifting our focus now, after 82 days of bombardment, the city of Mariupol is now completely under Russian control. This after the Ukrainian soldiers who were holed up inside the Azovstal steel plant were evacuated on Monday. The steel plant had been the last holdout of the troops defending the city of Mariupol. It had become a symbol of resistance, with soldiers living in underground tunnels and bunkers. On Monday, over 260 of the soldiers, many of them wounded, were evacuated through a humanitarian corridor to areas under the control of Moscow and Russia-backed separatists.
16 травня з Азовсталі до медичного закладу в Новоазовську евакуйовано 53 важкопоранених для надання медичної допомоги. Ще 211 осіб через гуманітарний коридор були доставлені в Оленівку.
Now, it is not clear how many Ukrainian soldiers still remain inside the steel plant. Ukraine's military said that they were working to evacuate all the remaining troops from Mariupol, thereby ceding control of the city after months of assault. Mariupol, once a vibrant port city with over 400,000 residents, now lays completely devastated. An example of Russia's willingness to destroy cities resisting its control. President Zelensky praised the soldiers and said that the country needs its Ukrainian heroes alive.
Щодо ситуації в Маріуполі, завдяки діям українських військових, Збройних сил України, розвідки, перемовної групи, Міжнародного комітету Червоного Хреста і ООН, ми маємо надію, що вдасться зберегти життя наших хлопців. Серед них є важкопоранені. Їм надається допомога. Хочу підкреслити, українські герої потрібні Україні живими. Це
And for more on this, joining us live is our correspondent Chris Jones from Riga in Latvia. Thank you so much for joining us, Chris. Now, Mariupol, as I mentioned, completely under Russian control. We know it's a key port city, strategic win for Russia here. What does this mean for Russia's plans in Ukraine going forward?
Well, you're right. This is a key strategic city for Russia to take. It has good infrastructure. It's a massive area. And it also has that key port access that goes out to the Black Sea. Despite that, though, this perhaps isn't the victory that Russia had hoped for. It's been prolonged over a long time now. We've seen that Ukrainian forces have been holed into that Azovstal steel plant for around 2 months now, and keeping that position, the Ukrainian government says, that has prevented around about 20,000 of Russian forces from mobilizing across parts of Zaporizhia and to the Donbass region, and that's really slowed down Russia's attempts to take the east of the country. So really, Ukraine has done a good job in keeping that area. So although a key moment for Russia in this phase of the war, not as quickly as it would have liked.
Absolutely. Now, we know that Azovstal steel plant here had become a symbol of resistance. Over 260 of the soldiers, many of them who were wounded, who were sheltering in the underground tunnels and bunkers, were taken through a humanitarian corridor to areas under the control of Moscow and Russia-backed separatists. What can you tell us of the implications of this now?
Well, we've all seen the harrowing pictures, haven't we, of the besiegement of Mariupol and of the Azovstal steel plants. As you mentioned earlier, on Monday we saw a group of Ukrainian soldiers come out of the plants with a white flag and ask for negotiations. Now, those negotiations seem to have been completed. Around about 260 Ukrainian soldiers and around about 60 of those wounded have been taken to Russian-controlled towns now, where there will be treated for their injuries. It's also believed that they will return back to the Ukrainian ranks in exchange for captured Russian soldiers. But President Volodymyr Zelensky is very clear that this is going to be a difficult and long process that's going to take delicacy and time. And of course, there are still people trapped inside the steel plants, and negotiations are ongoing to make sure that they are freed as quickly as possible too.
Right. Now, with that being said, Ukraine's forces also made headway in the northeast region of Kharkiv now to cut off supply lines for Russia's main offensive, which focuses on capturing the Donbass region. How do you see the situation now unfolding on that front?
Well, the battle for Kharkiv has been a really significant moment for Ukraine. The Institute for the Study of War has said that Ukrainian forces have stopped Russia from even entering the city, also known as the fortress city, because it's so difficult to take. They're now believed to have pushed Russian forces back to the border, and this is really quite significant because it shows that Russia is not advancing as quickly as it would like to. In fact, UK intelligence from the Ministry of Defence estimates that Russian forces are likely to have diminished by a third, and that has led to decreased mobilisation and decreased morale as well. And this really will hamper their efforts to move over to further east to the Donbass region, which is now a key target of theirs. So really, in the words of NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, this war really isn't going the way Russia wanted it to.
Right, that is clear. Now, Chris, thank you so much for bringing us all the updates on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.